Hey, up next on the MARR Army Rock Show. First time we've had them on the show. Excited to talk to Nasty, who's calling in here from Diamond Rexx, Chicago band formed, gosh, like 86, 87. They got a brand new record out, Psych Word, came out on August 28th. And Nasty's joining us. Hey, man, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for being here. Now, I'd love, I'm really curious to hear a little bit more about the history of the band, if you don't mind. I mean, take me back to, it was, I guess, about 86, 87, Land of the Damned is released. How did you guys get discovered, as they say back in the day?
Well, it was actually kind of weird, man. We were, like every other band, but we were doing all original music, and we're doing some shows, and it's kind of like the stuff you hear about, man. We're sitting in a club and we do a show and we get off stage and a couple guys approach us and they say, "Hey, man, we're managing bands. Would you be interested in management?" And we just said, "Hell yeah," and that was Mark Noir. He had a partner at the time, and he kind of took us under his wing, and right away cut a 2-song demo, and we got a good response on that. And a couple months later, we're in the studio recording Land of the Damned, and he wound up shopping it and got us signed to Island Records. So it was kind of happened really quick.
So for folks, I was back in that age, I was a teenager right then and loved the genre of music you're playing. For folks that wondered on the outside, now I'm so lucky I get to talk to all you guys, but back in the day, what was life like when you were in that MTV era, that, touring era of the late 80s? Just give us a snapshot.
Dude, I wish I had a snapshot, all right? I wish there was cell phones so some of it could have been documented. I'll tell you what, man, life was crazy. Life was fast. Like Motley Crue song, Girls, Girls, Girls. It was just a nutty time, man. And, the drugs, the alcohol, and, I'll tell you what, unfortunately, there's a whole hell of a lot of it that's kind of just cloudy, unfortunately, I talk to a lot of people, and they tell me things that happen, and I'm looking at them like, yeah, it sounds great, So, yeah, it was a crazy time, man. But it was a lot of fun when it was going on. But you know what, man? It's a new world now, man, and things are different, and I don't know. I'm enjoying things a lot better now because I actually remembered what the hell happened,
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That's a better way to go. But when I listen to you guys, if I was to describe you to someone that never heard it before, I would say what I like about you is I feel like you kind of almost mix Alice Cooper meets Motley Crue. But I'm curious, who were your influences as you guys were coming up? Did you, or was it just done independently, kind of?
Yeah, well, you know what? You just nailed a couple of mine, obviously, and same thing with my guitar player, SS. We all love Crew. The thing is, he was heavily influenced by I would say UFO, Michael Schenker, and man, Randy Rhoads. I remember when Randy got with Ozzy, and Ozzy started putting out albums with Randy Rhoads. SS, literally, man, he note for note, he had to learn those solos. So, on the musical side, I would say that was part of his influences. My side, it was pretty much I'm into anything, and I always liked the front men that were the entertainers, but I mean, my roots go back to Deep Purple, the Burn album and stuff, and Made in Japan, that live album, and but I mean, anybody who had an outrageous front man who just David Lee Roth, Ozzy, Cooper, of course, but I mean, I'd go off in the bands like frickin' Prince and Pink, because they just, both of those bands just put on such phenomenal shows. Queen with Freddie Mercury, I mean, any band that had a front man that just owned the crowd, man, that kind of got me.
So, we looked back to the late 80s, so after a whole lot of twists and turns, here we are. I think it's the original lineup, kind of. Tell us about how this all came together to come back and do this.
Well, I guess, first of all, God must have gave us a reprieve or something, because, number one, we're all still alive,
Yeah.
That's a miracle in itself, and the fact that we're all still jamming together and making music together, man. I mean, honestly, we just look at that as such a blessing, you know. There's something magical about this original lineup. There was a point during the grunge area where we got together and we had a rehearsal, and the drummer, Johnny Catone, he looked at us, he goes, do you guys realize it's been over 10 years since the four of us stood in the same room? Now, that's odd when you consider how much time we were constantly together, you know?
Yeah.
And we all looked at each other like, holy shit, yeah, that's right. And but it was funny because that rehearsal was literally like we had just rehearsed last week or something, you know? So there's that magic when the four of us, you know, we all feed off each other, and it's just, you know, it works great as long as we don't spend too much time talking to each other.
So let's talk about a couple of songs, man. So listening today, I wanted to ask you, I love the punk metal style of the song, The Answer. So tell me about the song itself. Is it about Chicago, or is it about some more generic commentary kind of thing?
Well, I guess I'm going to have to do a little mind reading and speak for our bass player, Andre, because that's a song that Andre had written. He had a little solo project when the band kind of was going in different directions with different lineups and stuff. And I had heard that song probably 10 years ago at least. And, you know, we were rehearsing one night, and I said, dude, you know, what's that song, that punk song you got, you know? Like, play that damn thing. That was a good song. And, you know, I kind of just roughed through it and made up words like I usually do. But then I told him, do me a favor, man, email me your lyrics. And, you know, I might have changed or switched maybe 2 lines in the whole song. But, you know, that was basically all him. So from what it looks like he wrote, yeah, in this old shy town, you know, it's kind of like it's a mob-run city or whatever it is, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has a little history right in our roots, you know.
Now, if I always like to, when I do this, to pick my favorite song on the record and ask you about it. So after much contemplation today, I came up with I Want It All, I think is my favorite. And I think there's I'm going to tell you what the thing I like about it is. For some reason, when I listen to that song, I feel like I'm listening to a live record. Like, I don't know how to explain that to you, but I feel like it's a live performance. Tell me a little bit more about that tune.
Well, here's the funny part. You say that. I wanted to capture our live feel because we are a live band, you know. We're not a band that's going to get in the studio with layers of harmonies and stuff like that. What you see is what you get, you know. And I wanted the whole album to have that feel. And it's kind of funny because that's a song that S came in with. Literally, when we're trying to pick through songs and we started out, we were just going to do a demo. And then we realized, like, man, it's been so long and our fans have been screaming at us, when are you going to come out with another album? So we decide we're going to, you know, do an album. And we're in there working and trying to sift through what songs are going to get on there. And this guy's coming into the rehearsal room and, here, man, I got a new idea, you know, and that was one of them. There were actually 2, Ride and Want It All. Both were, like, literally written right on the spot as we were getting ready to record this thing. And it was funny because he came in with a melody for me to sing to, which that usually never happened before, but and even on Ride, he actually came with a melody and lyrics. I think he wrote the first verse of that song, and I kind of filled in the lyrics for the second. But on Want It All, it was just such a powerful song, and I said, man, what am I going to write this about? You know, what are we going to sing about? And that song is about our country. If you look through the lyrics and the hey little girl, hey little girl, hey little girl, you know, you get past that stuff and you look at the lyrics, that song's about this country. And I just think it's a perfect time that, you know, we stay out of the political BS, man. I don't care what you believe. You know, I'm just glad you believe whatever the hell it is you believe, you know. Mm-hmm. And we're in a country where you can believe anything you want. But the one thing, man, everybody ought to stand proud and unite. And, you know, we are the United States of America, man. And you know, I just see everything going in such crazy directions lately. You know, I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, I guess get a little patriotic and stuff, you know. I want it all, red, white, and blue, you know.
It's a really good tune. I love the riffs, and like I said, it was that live vibe. You know, I've been in a concert in so long now, like anybody else. I mean, you go to 2 a week, and then all of a sudden in March we go to nothing. So it's like, anyway. Speaking of that,
wait a minute. I got to back up a second on that too. I'll tell you another thing that gives it that live vibe. That's probably one of the best solos I've ever heard him play, man. I've been listening to the guy for over 30 years, man. So I'll tell you what, his solo on that song makes the hair on my arm stand up. So
I'm going to make sure I play that for everybody tonight so they know what we're talking about here. Now, is there what's the prospects for you guys playing live soon? Some people are starting to get back in the game a little bit now. Are you guys thinking of doing some live stuff, or where are we at?
Actually, you know, I just got off the phone with the label with Pavement today, as a matter of fact, and we're looking to set something up in the area. Of course, because of these COVID restrictions, it's only going to be 50-person capacity.
Right.
But what we're going to do is we're going to work it out, and we're going to live stream it through the Pavement website, so anybody will be able to check that show out worldwide. It'll be, I can't remember the other bands we're thinking of putting on it, and it's called the Mob something thing. I don't know. We just literally talked about it today, but we're shooting for the end of September. I think nice. Saturday the 29th is tentatively the date we're going for, so we're going to try to keep an eye on our Facebook page, our website, and that should be confirmed in about a week or so.
Hey, one more thing, man. I see, I was looking through all your guys' photos today. I love the Diamond Rexx shirts, man. So is there a place people can go to get some merch, or are we going to be waiting to do that at the shows, or is there a place people can go now to pick up if they want a Diamond Rexx tee?
Obviously, at the shows, we always have merch, but anytime, just pop on to diamondrexx.com.
That's Diamond Rexx with 2 X's.com.
2 X's,
and
right.
They can find the shirts and that good stuff. I'm going to recommend very highly people go out. The album's out now. It's August 28th release date on that one. It's Psych Ward. Very cool record from Diamond Rexx. And Nasty, man, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. I really thoroughly enjoyed, sincerely, the album today. I played it all day long, loved it. And I appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, man, thank you. Just do what you're doing, man. Help us to get the word out, man. We really appreciate that.